I'm a globally minded individual, but that doesn't mean I'm incapable of focusing on what's going on in my backyard in the motherland. The reality is the problems we face here in Britain are problems faced by many people around the world. Having said that, we do have our local peculiarities and customs and quirky little ways. Anyway, one of the big problems in this country is a miniature representation of a world problem, namely massive inequality. According to Adam Uren, Britain's richest 1,000 people have managed to double their already enormous wealth since the financial crash of 5 years ago. So the total share of the top 1,000 in 2009 was £258 billion. Now it stands at £519 billion. More than 100 billionaires are now based in the United Kingdom. Apparently London has more sterling billionaires than any other city in the world. This was published on thisismoney.co.uk, so-called financial website of the year, published in May of this year. I've heard it said many times that London has become a playground, if you will, for the super rich. Yeah, obviously I can't relate to a billionaire, can't relate in the financial sense. It's obvious to me that some individuals have far more money, property and assets than they or their families will ever personally need. The world doesn't need there to be billionaires. The UK doesn't need billionaires. This country, this world, doesn't need millionaires even. What we have is unjustifiable concentrations of wealth. The rhetoric we've heard over the years from politicians about wanting to create that fairer, more egalitarian society seems empty, doesn't it? Nice speeches, pretty well rehearsed, well polished speeches, but yeah, empty. Just speeches by little politicians. Little politicians have not made Britain a fairer or more equal society. Super high concentrations of wealth can and do damage communities and put a strain on social relations. And it's unsustainable. You can't expect that a tiny number of people getting richer and richer at ever increasing rates while so many struggle to get by could ever be a sound economic situation or economic strategy, if you like, in terms of stability or promoting the general well-being. As I said, it's unsustainable. There are countries who do considerably better than the UK in terms of being more equal societies. There's a book I'd like to recommend. It's called The Spirit Level: Why More Equal Societies Almost Always Do Better, by Richard G. Wilkinson and Kate Pickett. A good read, yeah. How can Britain become a more equal society in the future? For it surely is desirable. Well, reining in executive pay, excessive executive pay, would be a good place to start. Yeah. We have a social environment today which encourages overconsumption and leads to high levels of personal debt. Now, yeah, for sure people have to take responsibility for their own spending habits, but we can't deny that people's behaviour is shaped by the social environment. That environment can be changed. society can be reorganised. Legal means can be used to do this, persuasive means can be used to do this. Yeah. How about a maximum wage? If you've got one people at the end of the income scale pulling in 200, maybe 300 times more than folks at the other end, then surely that's something that needs addressing. A maximum wage probably would be one way of curbing the excesses of the corporate world. Not likely that a maximum wage law would be passed in the UK though. Venomous conservative opposition would no doubt arise. In fact, a maximum wage bill was introduced by a Labour MP called Paddy Tipping a few years back. I think it was labelled as Stalinist and someone called him a communist idiot. Yeah, sad. Attitudes have to change. Yeah, how about a significant raising of the minimum wage? That would help a lot of families. You know how politicians like to talk about helping hard-working families. But is it all just talk? Talk, talk, talk. A lot of the wealth in this country is bound up in land and property, of course, and much of this land and what's on it is far beyond the financial means of most British people. Are we heading for another crash? I hope not, obviously. But if things do start to go pear-shaped again, who's going to get hit the hardest? I think Richard Branson would be okay. I think Richie would get by. Yeah, he could weather the storm of another recession. Myself and millions of my fellow citizens, I think we might find ourselves in more of a pickle in the event of another major economic downturn. But like I said, I hope that doesn't happen. Catch you later, folks. Peace.